Good morning. And TGI, thank God it's Friday. What a week. What a week. But nevertheless, we got through it. Well, we got it this far anyway. Not as successfully as we might have, but we got there. Persistence. Now, I'm only with you for a few minutes because you've got the magnificent John Prideaux up, giving you some idea of where AI is going, because there is much is written about it, little is known about it. So the branding boys are busy telling us that it's a wonderful thing, all things to all people, that their brand is the one that they should use. John takes a more methodical approach, tests the claim, and then decides whether it does what it's supposed to do. And the one thing I haven't given it is a challenge. And actually, I'm very amused because these AI non-characters are so polite. Oh, good morning, Keith. How are you? How nice to have you here. Someone of your caliber is using our service. Da, 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 da. And it's not a real person. You can't get used to it. But I wish I could ask it, is there a cure for Parkinson's? In fact, I could ask it and it would come back with the answer, no, there isn't. Well, on the way to in research, dedicated people, marvelous people involved with Parkinson's, but they haven't got there yet. And they're not likely to get there in the next little while, which means that there's only one way of trying to defeat this awful, dreadful disease, and that is to laugh at it. And I think I would have got you laughing this morning. And I piled out of bed because my legs don't work. There are two types of Parkinson's, the sort that you see with people doing this, and the sort that stop you from walking properly. I've got the sort that stops me from walking properly. Thank God I can still hold a glass of wine. But it does have its limitations. I switched on the computer and got it ready only to realize that my hat was on the other side of the room. That's 10 steps away. 10 steps for you, a little quite quick dash. For me, it's a giant leap for mankind. I have to go, whoa, and hope like hell I don't fall. Well, I did make it, but I had to rest before I came back. That means that a simple little thing like picking up your hat from the other side of the room takes up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, rather than the 50 seconds that it should take. And then you're like a ballerina, floating on your tippy toes, hoping like hell that it won't all go wrong and you'll end up on the floor. Because if you end up on the floor, then what happens is, if you can reach it, you got a lifeline. If you can't reach it, you lie there until somebody comes in. It could be 15 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, I didn't need to this morning because that summons an ambulance. The ambulance people, the ambulance service is the best part of the NHS. Really first class. They try to get to you on time, in a timely manner. They're always very pleasant. They go through through the options, find out what you may have done to yourself. The big fear, of course, is that you crack your head, which you tend to do when you fall, and that you start some blood seeping somewhere. This is entirely obvious. Anyway, that's what the ambulance service does, and they're very good. But lying there, you get a chance to think things through. What on earth should I be doing today? The answer often is, I should be on my bloody feet, and I'm not. So I try hard to struggle to my feet, because the other thing that I'm in semi-darkness this morning, not at all well lit, and I'm sorry about that, but the light is here and the light is there. The light over there, the plug isn't quite in the socket. But to put it in the socket would mean another 5 steps. Well, I've gambled with 10. I have to think, am I going to gamble with another 5 and take the chance of not coming out alive? And the answer is, no, I'm not. So I struggle back here and I put this light on. But there's something wrong with this at the plug end. And I haven't got time, nor have I the inclination to get down on my knees, because I may never get up again to take a look. So there you are. That's how a day can start if you've got parkies. Now, I'm telling you this in a sort of casual way, because once every fortnight, my good friend and associate and an excellent producer, Philip Meredith, has a little program in which he sits me down, lectures me on how I should look at the camera, makes me sit very still, and then tell him what's happened to me as far as Parkinson's is concerned this past week. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me on Monday. I have carers come in. Not sure whether I need them or not, but I have them come in. They make me a sandwich here and a cup of tea there. They sometimes wash me. Oh, that's an experience, believe me, I'll tell you about that one day. They sometimes have a little chat. They're always very pleasant. And it's not as if I don't appreciate them. I do. But they don't know my daily routine. And Monday morning, I needed to get up at 4:30, which I did, because it takes me an hour to get ready, get dressed. I took the hour, got dressed, 20 to 6. I can go out to the scooter, get on it, go down to Lewis and go to Cafe Nero, and I'll get there just about 6 o'clock, where I have a meeting. Aha. Where are the keys to the scooter? I keep them in the pocket of best described as a ski jacket. It's a bit more than a ski jacket, but still. So where's the ski jacket? Can I find the ski jacket? I live in a very, very small apartment. How the hell have I managed to lose the ski jacket in this small environment? I look everywhere. It gets to 1 minute to 6. I'm still not out through the door, let alone at my meeting on time. Ha. So the cab is very good. He rushes down and it turns out to be a lady. A very nice lady. A lady from Lithuania. My goodness me, I've been several times in Lithuania, I say. And she is thrilled. Nobody goes to Lithuania, she says. There's nothing there. On the contrary, the old town in Vilnius is a model for all old towns. Absolutely wonderful. Actually, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Perhaps you do need to see a bit more of my face. There you go. All right, cover up my man's chest. While you're talking to John Prideaux, or he's talking to you, I shall get properly dressed, I assure you. But anyway, this lovely young lady from Lithuania, realizing the urgency, goes wham, bam, boom through the quiet streets of Lewis at a little after 6 in the morning and gets me down to Cafe Nero by about 7 minutes past 6. So I don't have too much egg on my face. But once again, if you see me searching for a jacket, I don't know where it's gone. It's got to be a laugh. It's got to be a laugh. And if nothing else, I'm generating a good old laugh to try and put Parkinson's to flight. There, let's adjust that a little bit, shall we? It's first program of the day. Nobody gives a fig about what I do. They're all busy getting ready. They've just got me in the corner of their eye in the hope that I'll fall on my bloody face. And pratfall, first thing Friday morning, particularly with the man in the blue hat, is something we treasured. Oh, indeed. Not for me, it's not. Anyway, that was how the week started, and it kept on going from bad to worse. Leaving me with technology is like leaving the Titanic without a captain. It all happens much faster than it would have happened anyway. And hang on. Morning. You all good? And this is James Wyatt. Hello, James. As good as I can be first thing in the morning. Oh, and somebody else, Liminal. I can't quite make out the last name. I'm sorry. I'll try hard. But I want to be careful I don't bugger anything up. To make the last. Well, I'm awfully sorry, but good morning to Liminal. Good morning indeed. How very nice. Within seconds, James Wyatt and Liminal Spaces, it looks like. Forgive me, I really need it. This is where I need a minder. Look over my shoulder and read for me. It's not Parkinson's that affects my eyesight, it's age. I'm now 86. And I decided that perhaps I'm verging on getting old. And some of these things are just sent to try us. But I'm delighted that two of you, apparently quite independent of each other, are awake at this hour of the morning, are tapping in to watch my nonsense. And I wish that I was brave enough and daring enough to show you how I fall down. The trouble is that if I do, I doubt if I would be able to get up. So please forgive me and live with the fact it's very funny. It's very funny to see me hobble across the room, actually. And if I didn't laugh at it, I would probably cry, but I'm not going to. The way to beat this disease, and I keep telling people who have it, or people who are married or involved with people who have it help beat Parky by laughing at it. A good guffaw, a good belly laugh at this hour of the morning. Ha 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 ha! Bugger off, Parky. Go and find something else to do. Don't come to those poor souls whom you have infected and decide that they shall be your guinea pigs. We won't be. We refuse to give in to you. Even if you are at the moment limiting us to a few steps in the morning from the bed before we feel as if we want to collapse. Hey, hey! Join the forces. Tell Parky to get stuffed. Now, I'm going to do a little self-promotion here because quietly I've been writing articles, hopefully amusing articles, for an app called Nextdoor for well over 2 years now. And I thought, gosh, people read them, and up to 5,000 of you have hit. I'm very grateful. I know that doesn't mean to say that you read it, 5,000 have read it, but 5,000 have become aware that I do these things. So I've decided to put them into a little book, and it's almost ready. And when it is, I shall let everybody know. I charge just a small amount to pay for the self-publishing cost, but other than that, there'll be 10 to 12 of these stories, which help me help people who have Parkinson's, and generally speaking, even make the nurses laugh. When I was in hospital for an extended period, 15 weeks in hospital is a long time. You get to know the nurses very well, and they're lovely. Most of them are just absolutely lovely. They look after you, and this is in the Lewis Hospital, by the way, the Lewis Victoria Rehab Centre. If we weren't all so ill, I think everybody would agree that we were in there and having a party. It was almost a good time. And then there was a Lime Tree, a nurse home in Nigma. And they were the same. In fact, there were some lovely people there. One, I'm going to chase because he said he would do some cooking for us on Mirador, and I haven't heard from him. He was a chef, a leading chef at Harrods. Got tired of the rat race after a dozen years or so, and retired down here. Not retired, he came to find work down here, and found it at the Lime Tree nursing home. So here we are, me and the others, having difficulty walking and getting around, being treated to 5-star meals, and they are. Philip, his name was. Philip, well done. You brought a little bit of civility to what is, or to all intents and purposes, not a very civil situation. First thing in the morning when your knees are going, ah! The thing is, a concerted voice, if we keep on telling Parky to get lost, eventually he does listen. And at some stage in the day, you have about an hour in which you feel quite good. You can get onto the Zimmer and scoot along the corridors and feel as if you are free of all encumbrances. Wind rustling through the air, your objective in sight. You can soon put your bottom on the chair and know that this time you're not going to fall. So they are. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And on Mirador, it's a good Friday. Keep tapping in to Mirador. The rest of the week is pretty damn good too, but Friday is a particularly good day because we all want to prepare for a decent weekend. I want to prepare for the rugby on Saturday. Oh, at this age and this condition, it's a bit late for me. It doesn't start until 4 o'clock, you see, which means it probably is close to 8 by the time I get home. Oh dear. There's nothing tgjf in that, I'll assure you. I'm exhausted by the time I get home. Most people don't think about things like that. I have to. They are forced on me, imposed on me. I can't just go around ignoring them. But I'm not complaining. Not complaining one little bit. Because the glass is always half full. And that's the story of Mirador, you know. It's had lots of ups and downs. Lots of ups and downs. But we're still here. The tenacity of the people involved with us, doing a great job, presenting, producing, all the things that are required of a television station. They have been fantastic. They've stuck with it. And now we're starting to see a little bit of a spring. In the springtime of my life, the old Mirador, I shall look to the sunshine. In the springtime of my life, when the flowers are fresh. Aha! I don't know whether any of you ever saw that movie, Goodbye, Mr. Chips. They've made several versions of it. This one is the musical. It's Peter O'Toole and Petula Clark. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. They all are. They all bring tears to my eyes. But this one particularly, Peter O'Toole is masterful. And Petula Clark is Petula Clark. I think it was John Henty said he was up in London recently and went to something, because John mixes with the great and the good. And he's like me, edging towards the end of his life. And so he goes to those things where people also, as we call them, mature. And he said there was Petula Clark at age 90-something, as bright as ever, bright as a button. Ah, nice to know. It is nice to know. Well, anyway, it looks as if our viewers have stayed with us. And undoubtedly, for everyone that pops up on the screen, there are a few more that are popping around in the kitchen, getting the family ready for school, for work, for all those things we do in our daily round. Some people say, Keith, come on. You're always boasting about being at work at 6 in the morning. But television is hardly work, is it? Come and do it. See how exhausting it can be. See how much it can take out of you. I'll tell you, it is no barrel of fun. And I've been doing it for 60 years. More. So, early morning is a time to be taken very carefully when you've got a bit of parkies about you. A lot of parkies about you. Oh yes, I was on about Philip, wasn't I, at Lime Tree. I'm going to get on his case. He's a very nice fellow, and I'm sure he doesn't mean to let us down, but I penciled it in. Executive chef for Mirador. Wow, we've arrived. But he hasn't shown up yet. So if you're at Lime Tree, if you're a patient, if you're a member of staff, if you're an owner, or whatever, you tell Philip that Mr. Keith in the purple hat is waiting to see him face to face, frying pan in hand, so that he can turn out one of his marvelous meals. And they are marvelous. They are marvelous. I'll tell you, if you want to opt for somewhere to stay and you're a food lover, Lime Tree is the place to go. Food is fantastic. Actually, the staff are pretty damn good too. It was difficult to choose between Lime Tree and Victoria Rehab Unit. They were all first class. All first class. And if I had it all to do again, God willing I don't, I would select one of those two places to go to. Hayward's Heath is okay. But on the occasions that I collapse and I'm lying on the floor, and the ambulance crew come in and they say, we think you should go to hospital, I always say, not in Brighton. And they laugh and they say, no, 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 no. We'll take you to Hayward's Heath. And from Hayward's Heath, you get into rehab in Lewis. And it's a good progression. I'm keeping my eye on the time because I don't want to cut into John Credo's time. I can't remember now whether he's on at 1:45 or bang on the clock. I better not take the chance. It is now 1:45 or almost 1:45. We've got a couple of minutes of grace. So I better stop this reminiscing. TGIF. Let's have a go at Parky. Tuck my coattails in. Actually, I'm sitting here without any trousers. But then you wouldn't know that, would you? No, no. I got used to being without trousers in prison, in hospital. The girls would come along and they'd just take one look and they would go, and off they'd move. So you never felt any embarrassment. So you were too busy licking your wounds and thinking, my God, am I that bad? And then nonetheless, I better shut up and get off. Thank you, viewers, for being with me. Thank you for helping me brighten the morning. And on a Friday, say to Parky, get lost. So we have a free Saturday and a decent day's rugby. And I can have a pint without either dropping the glass or falling down. I'll see you later, Dick. Take care. Right. Toodle pip. Oh, here's Teddy. Oh, come and say hello quickly, Teddy. Here's Teddy. He's with you on Tuesday mornings.
Hello.
Every Tuesday morning.
You all right, mate?
And he hasn't got Parkinson's. Look at him standing erect. Cheeky bugger. Okay. Toodle pip. Bye.
Right, I've emailed over Tristan's details for your interview Tuesday morning.
Good.
All right?
Yeah.
All there. I'm off out to work.